How are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another KVK video. This is the second part of my Hunters KVK. What I'm doing now is I'm about to solo this online 300 million might player with March returning. I'm just waiting for my guild to set a fake rally on him. In fact, Demon actually sends a real rally. Do you know, still tracks him, so I can still go in and solo. I'm going to go in blind with Inf, which is not my normal solo comp, but I like to mix it up occasionally. So I hit him, he burns on the first hit. He's in cavalry phalanx with only 500k troops. There's probably another 200k in the March returning now. So I'm going to speed my troops back and send another infantry solo, because I'm thinking, you know, the first hit probably took out most of his cavalry if he's only got 500k troops. And then I hit him again, I don't do much damage. Then he starts hiding, he sets a fake rally on me. I'm going to send my third infantry solo, hopefully catching some of his troops before he can hide. Hit him for a third time, but he has hidden, and there's only, I think, a bunch of T1, T2 siege left. Then flying right past him is another player's march from the same guild. His troops are returning from the fort. Brief look at his profile, he's only 230 million might with 5 million kills, so he's clearly not a very experienced player. Probably a good solo target. I am going to go in and solo with infantry again, and this time he smokes. Look at the report, he's got about 900k troops. He did change to cavalry phalanx to block me, that's why I lost. So of course the next thing to do is to send range. He's speeding his march back like crazy now. He knows that he can't port until the march is back. He's got a tracker on him anyway, so we would be able to find him. Solo with range, speed it in, and he burns. 250k, not bad. Then he shields, so clearly he had no fury, and his returning march was the only thing stopping him from shielding. So we got a good hit off him there. I want to go back over my hits against that Jebsen guy. So he only had 500k troops, but he was doing pretty well. I wasn't killing many, and looking at the detailed report, I can kind of see why now. He only had, in the first hit, pretty much all cavalry out, and I sent infantry. It's actually quite amazing I was able to burn him at all. If I had checked the report, I would have known to solo him with range, and on the second hit, when his other march had come home, he only had cavalry and range out. So again, if I'd sent range, that would have been a better hit. But I was rushing, I didn't check the detailed report because I didn't have time. I just kind of assumed that he had all three troop types. Next up is Smoking Beef. He's already taken a couple of solos, that's why he's on fire. I put next to him, try and get in a hit of my own off, and very nicely he has left his leader out for me. At this point in the KVK, I was on over 50 million points, so pretty good going so far. I hadn't been capped yet, but as you are about to see, that will change very soon. I get capped a lot after this next bit. Blind soloing 90 million might, he didn't have fury. I thought he would be a solo trap, but he is actually empty, so that was kind of disappointing and a relief at the same time. So I'm looking in global chat and I see a player's coordinates have been posted. Alice X, she is 140 million might, and she is sending marches to another castle, so she's in fury. If I see a player of that might go into fury, I'm going to go and solo them immediately, because solo traps, you would think that they would just know not to go into fury. Like, catching a solo trap in fury is something that very rarely happens, so you're kind of safe. But nope, Alice has capped me, and right now I'm actually really excited because solo trap in fury means lots of kills. If she's capped me, then she's definitely a solo trap. So I'm going to post in chat that solo trap in fury, start a rally really quickly. But the thing is, guys, is that Alice actually is not in fury, and I'm going to explain how, because all of us saw her sending those marches to that other castle. Well, that's what it looked like she was doing. What Alice was actually doing is she sent 2 marches to an empty tile and then got someone to teleport onto it and then post her location in global chat, because anyone looking at that will immediately assume that Alice is in fury, go into solo her, and they'll get capped. And because Alice doesn't have fury, now she can migrate. That's exactly what she does. Following this was a very, very, very long, drawn-out negotiation progress. She wanted 200k gems, my leader. I wasn't going to pay that. I did have the gems on my ult to pay that, but I wasn't going to, because it's just not worth it. You know, I'd already scored a lot in KVK, so I didn't mind having to stop there. And then we waited a bit. I reminded her that as long as she has my leader, no one else probably is going to hit her because they'll know that she's trapping. And then eventually the price got lower and lower, and I eventually negotiated it to 100k. So I paid that, and my leader went free about 2 hours later. Our next target in the province is this 190 million might player with 500k kills. I don't know how you can play this game for any amount of time and only have 500k kills. I had over 1 million kills within my first week of playing when I was like a castle 15 or something like that. I had a lot of kills back then, still do now. But yeah, on my first account, I had 1 million kills in about a week, so I don't know how that player can have 500k kills. But Demon has just burned them out of the forest, and then we find them a couple minutes later because they recall a march. And Demon got them pretty good because now they only have their leader out, which I'm going to pick up. I also don't understand why they didn't shelter the leader as soon as they burned, because they should know that if we find them, of course, we are going to finish them off, so don't leave your leader lying around. One of the ways we like to get targets is we burn the smaller players in the province, so of course they random teleport out when they burn, and then we rally the fort that they've got all their troops in. Of course, the rally leader normally has to pull from the fort, or we kick them out of the fort, and then that releases all of those marchers out, so we can tell exactly where all of those players that we have burned are. We go in and finish them off, because of course while their troops are returning, they can't port, they can't escape, so we can catch them and finish them off relatively easily. Now with this next and final target, this is one of the last targets for my KVK. The rest didn't save because I had low storage space on my iPad. I saw this 300 million light player reinforce the base, so they've immediately gone into Fury. Low kills, low might. I thought could be a good solo target. Soloing players this size is very risky because either they're a rally trap or more likely a troop hoarder. If they are a troop hoarder, you can rally them and usually get your leaders back. And this player caps me. You know, I've hit a few players in this might range during this KVK, and this is the first one to have capped me, but I'm not panicking because I know they've just activated Fury. They have over 14 minutes left. That's plenty of time to rally them and free my leader, so I am not panicking at all at the moment. So Mr. Al Capone is rallying with full inf to try and free my leader. The rally is marching now. Carpets are flying because we want to hit them before they have a chance to see what we're sending and counter them. You know, at this point I was getting a bit nervous because they weren't panicking, and yeah, he does cap Al Capone's rally, but it does a lot of damage, so they're a rally trap, but maybe we've just broken their front line. So immediately afterwards, Demon is going to set a cavalry rally. This player clearly took the first rally in range phalanx, that's why the int rally did so much. So if enough of the range has been killed, this cavalry rally might be able to burn him. Right now, I was really not feeling very good about this. My fingers were crossed, hoping that this rally would burn him, because if it doesn't burn him, I'm in trouble, because his Fury will be up after this rally. We won't be able to set a second one on him, and mine and Al Capone's leader will be gone, and he does take the second rally as well. It walks back. We can see his comp. He's a range trap now. He still had too much range for the cavalry rally to burn him, but we did get a walk back. Now after this, he gave me a gold ransom and a gem ransom, both of those that I couldn't pay, and so I used a mushroom, and then right after I used the mushroom, he killed my leader. After that, I decided to go back to soloing, but the first target I hit was unfortunately for me, another trap. He was sitting in the forest, 200 million might player with only 10 million kills and green war gear. I thought, yeah, pretty easy, so I solo him and I hardly drop him anything at all. And luckily I am able to negotiate my leader back for 75k gems. That's much better than Alice's prices. But after that point, I thought it would be a good idea to stop I couldn't heal anymore, and I was kind of running out of troops at this point. So the KVK results, as you can see, we scored around 4 billion points, came first in our bracket. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you all next time.